Well, Straight Talk today focuses on the bond between mother and child.
Our friends at Ho'oko LLC weighed in on the importance of establishing healthy boundaries.
Straight Talk today is for the moms in our audiences and something important that all parents can take away. But we're back with Reese and Edwina of Ho'oko to talk about a mother's perspective and the role. So I know you're moms. This is a very important issue. So what do you recommend to our audience out there about the role of a mom?
Well, I think that most people commonly accept moms' roles as giving life, as caring and nurturing for their children. Some people also accept that moms are often the backbones of families, really orchestrating things, making sure everyone's needs are met, people remembering appointments and different things, having all of that information stored in their own memories to release at will. Those are the kinds of things that mostly people are familiar with. One of the things that people may not be familiar with, though, is the emotional backbone role that mothers hold. And what that means is really holding space for each member of the family, the feelings of each member of the family. And so that's such a pivotal role that mothers play that most people are not often aware of.
What, if any, role does friendship play between a mother and child?
Well, Tanya, some folks, it's very endearing because some folks really view their mom as their best friend. And as endearing as that is, though, sometimes when that happens in childhood, it causes, unfortunately, blurred lines and confusion. And part of that is because a mother and child are not on the same level with one another, right? There is clearly a power difference between a parent and a child. And so when a child is seeing that relationship as an equal, the mother might not be getting the respect that she is needed in that type of relationship. And so really trying to make a clear difference between the parent and child will be important, actually.
What does an appropriate and healthy relationship look like? It's a million-dollar question, but between a mom, a parent, and a child.
Letting them fail, letting them make their mistakes, letting them figure things out for themselves, and not being too much of what we call a helicopter parent, constantly overly involved in things. So that's something, as children get older, moving more into young adulthood and adulthood even, we see maybe the roles kind of shift a little bit and even out a bit more, where that's when we can see friendship come into play. When there are adults, children are adults now, and they can better engage their parent in a more kind of equal footing, if you will. And then we see, as time progresses, that role actually shift, and children taking on the role of parents, and parents now becoming more like children, more in the kupuna stage, So that's what a healthy relationship across the years would look like.
How, as moms, can you help foster that healthy relationship with the child?
So Tanya, it's really helping, as a mom, you were really helping our children to figure out who they are and who they are in this world, and giving them the room and the space to become that person. As a mom, it's, even for myself, I try to look for opportunities that I can get my child into, or experiences of life or activities to help them to really venture and find who they are in this world. And so also helping to foster relationship is about clearly defining roles and boundaries, as was mentioned earlier. And as Risa was saying as well too, being able to hold space for their own emotions and feelings as well too is extraordinarily important. And again, as mentioned earlier, Tanya, we don't want to be our child's best friend. We really want to be a parent for them. But yet, even as a parent, we want to be able to be flexible, have room for change, and also give room for each child, especially if there's multiple children in a family, give room for each child's individualism and their personalities.
As a mother, too, I know they both can be very different. So what can people in the audience do if they have questions about the parent-child relationship and relationships in general?
If they'd like to talk more about it, they're welcome to contact our counseling center at www.hookollc.com or 808-375-7712.
Thank you, ladies, both for coming on and talking about an issue that is affecting families everywhere. So we appreciate it.
Thanks, Tanya.
Thank you.
Any mom will tell you, it's hardest, most rewarding job out there, trying to find those. And, a lot of this hit really close to home for me, I have to say.
Yeah, definitely.
So we'll post more of that. We have that Straight Talk with them, always just giving good insights about a lot of issues.
And of course, we love our moms and all that they do for us.
Coming up now.